insight. Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now we move on. Japan's lower house of parliament has appointed Sanae Takaichi as the country's first female prime minister. The 64-year-old conservative and China critic has won an unexpected majority in the first round of voting. Takaichi is set to formally take office after meeting the emperor later on Tuesday, marking a historic moment in Japanese politics. Takaichi Sanae is expected to appoint another Shinzo Abe protege, Satsuki Katayama, as the new finance minister. This move would make Katayama the country's first female finance minister. Her appointment will mark a significant shift in a country where women hold fewer than 1 in 5 parliamentary seats and most large corporations are led by men. Now, Katayama currently chairs the LDP's Research Commission on Finance and Banking Systems and has strong experience in economic and finance roles. Japan is currently facing rising prices after years of deflation, a factor that has fueled support for opposition groups, including the far-right Sanseido Party. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Andrew K.P. Long. He's a China strategist, joins us live from Cairo. Thank you very much, Andrew, for staying with us. Now, looking at this news, what's your analysis in how might this rightward shift in immigration, also social policies, affect Japan's economic and demographic challenges? Can LDP maintain public support amid rising prices and growing influence of far-right opposition?
Well, this is definitely a game changer in Japanese politics. Firstly, it's the first woman prime minister, going to be the first woman prime minister in the history of Japan. And she's likely to appoint the first woman finance minister in Japan's history. So that's a game changer. The other game changer is even more important. Is that the whole country, the whole Japan, is shifting to the right, to the far right. It's similar to other countries in Europe and also in the United States, in the sense that the emphasis is also protecting their own country. It's a Japan first kind of policy, similar to the Make America Great Again, American first kind of politics, and also the right-wing politics in a number of European countries. I think that the Japanese economy is, of course, is tanking, inflation is rising, and the population is plummeting. There is not enough, the demographics are worsening. A lot of old people, because Japan has one of the world's longest longevity rates. But then the birth rate has shrunk. The younger generation are not want to even get married or to have children. And the productivity is stalling. And then, of course, in face of that, there's a lot of Japanese overseas markets also facing intense competition from rising from powers like China and other rising economies. So there's definitely a shift to the right. That's what we are seeing now in Japanese politics.
And how might this Prime Minister Takaichi's critical stance on China influence Japan's foreign policy and affect its relations with China?
Well, Japan's China policy is always very nuanced. Firstly, Japan wants to become a normal nation. After all, this many decades since the Second World War. So, like Germany, Japan wants to be treated as a normal nation, normal in the sense that forgetting about the past and concentrating on what's now, using Japan's strengths. But on the other hand, unlike Germany, Japan has never openly apologized for its war crimes, not to China, not to anyone. Unlike West Germany, immediately after the Second World War, the former German Chancellor Willy Brandt openly knelt down in public in face of in front of the whole world and apologized. And then, of course, the Japanese, the German public also did feel a deep sense of guilt. Unlike Japan, well, all the Japanese prime ministers since the Second War have never apologized for their war crimes, and also they keep on paying homage to the and Kazoni strikes, housing Class A war criminals. So I think that's the one side of the equation. The other side of the equation, of course, Japan is a very useful ploy for the United States to balance against China. For example, in the so-called Accord with India and Australia, but also in terms of a military alliance between China and South Korea, because Japan also owns the first island chain center in Okinawa with a lot of American assets, and the second island set in Guam. These two island chains as part of the United States containment strategy against China.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for sharing that insight and joining us and staying with us through our news. Now we stay on this topic. Meanwhile, residents of Nara, the hometown of Sanae Takaichi, have voiced high hopes as she moves closer to becoming Japan's first female prime minister. Small business owners and young voters have shared their expectations, highlighting Takaichi's independent approach and the potential for policies supporting childcare and women's issues. Let's listen into what they have said.
物価が上がってるからね、しんどいです、はっきり言って。だから今日でも買い物なんかは100均とかばっかりが多いです。やっていけないので、そういうところをやっぱり見てほしいなと思うけど、ほとんど高市早苗さん言ったって東京にいてるでしょ。奈良あんまりいてないでしょ。奈良を応援してくれはったらいいんや。
女性の政策が増えていってほしいなと思います。はい、子育てとか子育てした後の職場復帰とかそういう点で政策増えていってほしいなと思います。
期待一言二言いっぱいありますけれども、日本の国自体をすごく大切に思ってくれてるような感じがするんで、ぜひ世界中の中で日本の立ち位置っていうのをきちんと表明してくれたらありがたいなと思います。変わってきてるんで、一応嫌なものはノーっていうふうにちゃんと言える首相総理大臣であってほしいと思います。
いいんじゃない。奈良県で初やし、女性は全国で初めてやし、はい、必ずいいと思います。あまり周りを気にしてないとこもあるのちゃう。我が道を行くいう感じのちゃう。そんな感じだと思いますわ。
Now we move on to our next news. South Korea has summoned Vietnam's envoy over allegations of sexual misconduct by Vietnam's Deputy Defense Minister, Hong Quan Chien. During a visit last month, the incident is alleged to have occurred at a security forum in September, where Chien is accused of inappropriately touching a South Korean civil servant. South Korea's defense ministry has confirmed it had taken appropriate action, but did not disclose full details respecting the victim's wishes. The Vietnamese official has left South Korea the day after the alleged incident, and a week later, Hanoi's attaché was summoned. Vietnam has expressed regret and committed to preventing such incidents in the future. Hanoi's embassy in Seoul has yet to respond to these inquiries. Now we move on to our next news. A South Korean court has cleared Kakao Corp founder Kim Byung-soo of stock manipulation charges, boosting shares of the country's leading chat app operator by 5%. Kim was accused of manipulating the stock price of SM Entertainment in 2023 to block competitor Hybe from acquiring it. Prosecutors had sought a 15-year jail term and a fine of 500 million won, released on bail in October 2024. Kim has thanked the court, saying the ruling allows Kakao to move past the allegations. Analysts say the decision eases legal risks and protects Kim's 24% stake in Kakao, ensuring continued control over